Hey, Jenna, you're number one again. You're the first one back in the chat. So annoying. You have no idea. We had 1,300 people in the chat. Absolutely insanity. Keeps happening. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. So, anyway, we'll give it a minute here, guys, to let people get in the chat, and then we'll keep going again. It drives me crazy. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. So, I want to explain real quick what's going on, okay? What happens is it is not my internet, okay? My internet is perfectly fine. I have plenty of bandwidth. Everything is good on my end. I had a guy that used to work for Time Warner, which is now Spectrum. He helped me run a diagnostic test. We got on the phone. He told me what to look for. He told me all my stuff was fine. What he said probably was happening, and really there's no control over this, to be honest with you. He said people that hate you can bombard your IP address and they bring you down. They freeze you up and bring you down. And that's what happens, okay? It is not me. I would never do this. Believe me, I would rather have one stream go through, and I don't really, whatever the number of people that we're watching, we just have a nice whole hour and 20 minutes where we can do a stream and everything is great. That's what I would prefer. But because of this irritation, what goes on, and they do it on purpose, and somebody says, well, it really helps you out when you have all these takes. Yeah, it does, because then what happens is people go watch that first, like tonight, 20 minutes, and then they'll go in and watch take 2 or whatever. But I would rather not have it be that way. So that's what happens. Just putting it out there for you guys. There's people who said that I'm doing it. It's my fault. I'm doing it on purpose. Absolutely not. Would never do it. That's just not my style. That's not what I do. But anyway, people are going to think what they're going to think. I'm explaining to you what is going on. Okay. So again, if there is an interruption in the stream again, I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. Again, I hate this. I can't stand it. It drives me out of my mind, especially when we're in a good conversation and we're getting great feedback in the comments. That is just so annoying. Okay. But anyway, so that's what's happening. But again, if we have an interruption, I will get right back on as soon as I possibly can. So you may not get the notification. You may have to just go to the channel. Okay. So, but anyway, we're going to go back. We're going to jump right back in where we left off, talking about different things as far as food storage and stuff like that. Okay. Having a proper pantry, having ways to know how to cook what you have in your pantry, choices, options. That's a huge thing. Okay. Diversity in your preps. Okay. Having canned goods is great. I got a lot of canned goods, ton of canned goods. I run out of places to store canned goods. That's how many canned goods I have. All right. I can't wait till I put my addition on so I have more space to put stuff. Because what I would like to do when I build my addition is dedicate like 2 rooms completely just for food storage. That's my goal. Okay. So, but anyway, having canned goods is great, but you need to also have plenty of other options as well. So that's why canning is a good thing. All right. That's why, being able to have long-term food storage, because it's going to change up the taste of your meals. I think that's important as well. And when you, like with the freeze-dried food storage, what I personally like about the freeze-dried food storage, you got your hot water, you pour it in, it comes up, 15 minutes, you cook it, I think 15 minutes, and you got a really good tasty meal. And that's what I like. And again, whatever company you feel comfortable going with, that's your option. Okay. You can do whatever you want to do. So if it is Legacy Freeze-Dried Foods, if it's Augustin Farms, My Patriot Supply, I don't care which one you use. Okay. As long as you are doing it in preparation and getting ready, being proactive. If you're proactive and you have this mindset and you go, okay, this is what I'm doing and this is how I'm going to do it, it's better for you in the long run. I think that's really hugely important. Okay, so just putting that out there. But again, you need to have your staples. What are your staples? Rice and beans. Why? A lot of protein. Okay, rice is a good filler and it'll fill you up. Where the beans, lots of protein in the beans. It's good for you. You're going to need that energy when you're out there doing stuff. Knowing your wild edibles is going to be a huge thing too. SHTF happens in the winter. You're basically going to have no options to go out there and get wild edibles in the winter. All right, that's just not going to be there. So you're going to need to live off of your food storage. So the bigger that you can have your food storage ready to go in that emergency situation, it's a really good thing. One of the things that I think that everybody should have, and I've talked about this many times as well, definitely have honey. Okay, it is a great thing to have, especially if you're buying local honey from beekeepers that hasn't been processed. Don't buy store bought. Go get their honey from your local people, okay? It's the best honey you can get because it's not done the way that they do the honey in the store. And when you have that type of honey, you're getting all the natural antibodies from the local area, which helps with allergies and all that type of stuff. So it's really, really important. It also is a nice way to get your sweet tooth, to get that. Hey, Chrissy Martinez, my Sam's Club's has been out of canned vegetables and fruits. Local stores are not fully stocked. Shortages are already here. They will get worse. And I agree with that 100%. Thank you for that statement. I do appreciate that. And I believe you're 100% correct. I think things are going to get much, much worse. Homestead DIY with L&T. We need to get up. Oh, hold on a second. We need to be bumped up only at 200 plus. I think that's right. Oh, so you're like 800? Okay, so let's do guys, if you would, show some support for Homestead DIY with L&T. They're looking to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could show them support, I would appreciate that. And thank you. And, well, like I said, we have to watch out for each other. So the more channels we can get out there with different ideas and different opinions, because there's nobody out there that has all the answers. That's the other thing that's really kind of neat, too. But if we can have different ideas and share those ideas, I think that that's really, really cool. Ed, have you tried Keystone canned meat and chicken? Janie W. just asked that. I haven't tried Keystone, but I have a lot of canned meat stocked up in my preps as well. I think it's another thing that you absolutely should have. Ed, can you hydrate your meats for long term? JJ said, well, you can. But again, if you can can meat or, do canning with meat, it's another great way of doing it. You got to make sure you do it the right way when you're canning meat. That cannot be done with a water bath canner. That has to be done with a pressure canner, okay, because of botulism and stuff like that. You don't want to be eating that meat 6 months from now and then die because you canned it wrong. So that's something to pay attention to. I like regular canned meat as well to have in your preps. Again, diversity in your preps, I think, is hugely important. Oatmeal is a huge, huge thing. How do you store your rice? Thank you for the question. That's Mountain Kayaker just asked that. I do it two ways. All right. I will vacuum seal rice with my food saver, and then I put it in a 5-gallon bucket and seal that up again. So it's sealed and then it's sealed again. So that's one way that I do my rice. Another way I do my rice is I'll take regular cans, the canning jars, and I'll fill up that canning jar and I'll do the rice that way as well. So it gives me a couple different ways to do the rice. Now, I also have used Mylar bags. Put the Mylar bag in a 5-gallon bucket. You pour in that rice and you get about 30 pounds. I think it's about 30 pounds of rice in that bag. You can put your oxygen absorbers in there, and then you seal that bag. There's another way that you can do it. I have done all three of those ways here, okay? So, again, rice is a great thing to have. If stored properly, indefinite shelf life, it can last forever. So it's a really good thing to have. Rolled oats, that's Jen A just said. So there's your oatmeal, your rolled oats. Really important to have because, again, anybody that's here that's watching has ever had oatmeal, my grandmother always used to say, eat your oatmeal, it'll stick to your ribs, okay? If you guys remember that as children, somebody telling you that, like my grandmother and my grandfather would say that. Oatmeal is very filling. It's a great meal. It's a great source of protein. It's going to give you a great way to get your energy boost in the morning. You have to remember, in a post-event, we will not be sitting around anymore. We're not going to be watching television. We're not going to be listening to the radio. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to need to be actively doing for your survival, okay? One of them will be collecting wood, okay? Hugely thing. L. Gibson, Dehydrating meat will only last for a short time due to the fat content. No matter how much you clean it, it will still be fat and it will go bad. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for that information. Yeah, I did not really know. I've never dehydrated meat, so that I did not know. I know you can jerk meat and, make jerky, and it gives it a longer time that it'll last if you do it that way. But again, big bags of pancake mix at Sam's Club only need water, very filling. That's another one. Leap of faith. That's great that you said that, actually, because it's another thing I have a lot of. Pancake mix, again, very filling. Now, if you can get maple syrup, now like up here we get maple syrup. I mean, Greg makes maple syrup. We'll probably do some videos of that again this year to show you guys again. But that's the way, that pancake, man, it's very, very filling again. You eat 2 pancakes, 3 pancakes, and you're full. Again, those are things that are really good things to have in a post-event. Again, you're going to want to diversify. You're not going to want to eat pancakes every day. You're not going to want to eat oatmeal every day. So if I can have like pancakes this day, oatmeal here, have eggs the third day, and then, dry cereal that I have stored up, and use my fantastic, dry powdered milk, again, you need to think about all these things ahead of time because you don't want to be in that rut of eating the same thing over and over and over again. So I want to go back to something else that I was talking about. You can always use fruit on pancakes too, or honey. Yes, absolutely you can. Yep, that's a good thing. Yeah, and that kind of changes it up again as well. I was talking, I think before it dwinked out on us, I was talking about wood stoves. All right. If you live in an apartment or if you're in the city and you have a city apartment, you can't really have a wood stove in there. But what you can get a camping stove, which is a smaller stove that you can get to be able to heat up one room. And if it's a matter of life and death, you vent that out the window and you have a way not only to purify water, because you can boil water on there, you can cook on it. So you have that option as well, and it's going to keep you warm. I would very, very highly recommend, if you don't have some way to stay warm, that you get something. If you have a house and you have a home and you can get a wood stove in there, do it. That should be number one priority. Like, okay, so my sister is going to be moving in here 1st of September. And we sat down yesterday and we were talking. And I said, once you get moved in, your number one priority is getting a wood stove in. That's the number one priority because we're getting into, so they're moving in here as of September 1st. We're getting into the fall season here. The nights will start getting colder. And so you're going to want to be able to take that chill off that house. Having that wood stove, again, life and death. Very, very important. Know what you're doing when it comes to that, okay? Yeah, Sawyer mini water filters are great to have. Robert Reyes just said the one thing with them, guys, the water filters, this is really important, especially for all us folks up here in the north. You cannot let them freeze, okay? So if you're purifying water, you're going to make sure that system doesn't freeze, because if the fibers freeze, it compromises the whole system and it won't work right anymore. So you may have a filter system, 100,000 gallons, right? Awesome, great. But if you compromise that the first time you use it and you leave it outside for, say, and it freezes, it's now no good. So that's something to be really cognitive of. You got to be really on top of that, okay? So I live in New York. Somebody said, where's Ed? I live in New York. So we get cold up here. We get really cold up here. We're not as bad as, say, Canada. When you get up there by Toronto and up further north, they get really, really cold. Minnesota, up in the Upper Peninsula and stuff like that, those guys get really cold. But it's bad enough. So it's bad enough here. But again, to me, I don't care what anybody says, I think it's a huge advantage to be living in the north, especially if SHTF happens, or I should say when SHTF happens, because in the wintertime, people will not be out traveling. They're not going to be out moving around. If we're in an SHTF situation, the plows are not going to be out there, so the roads are going to be impassable. What will happen by the time you get through that winter and you get into spring, the unprepared will no longer be there. your threat to you in life is going to be greatly diminished at that point. Okay, so that's really something important to remember. Did I miss? Hold on a second. I want this. Okay, now. That's something to remember. Okay, so, but that's what I like about it. Yes, our growing season is shorter. That's why greenhouses are important, because you extend your season in the spring and in the fall. So I think greenhouses are hugely important if you can do that, especially, like I said, if you're in the north. But again, it's a controlled environment as well. So if you have like a ton of rain, it's not going to destroy your crops if you have them in that greenhouse. And so you can control it a lot better. And I think that's kind of important as well. But again, there's so many aspects of things to think about that it's really important to just continue to, if you're brand new, you're a brand new prepper, you're just starting out, you haven't done anything yet. What are you going to do first? The very first thing you need to do is make sure you have a 2-week supply of food and water. After you do that, continue to add to that 2-week supply, making it bigger and longer so that now you can go 3 weeks and 4 weeks and so on. Okay, but the 2-week supply of food and water does one thing for you right off the bat. Right off the bat. If you have a 2-week supply of food and water, you have an advantage over 95% of the people in this country. 95%. So think about that. Where everybody else is now going to not have food, at least you have that. Anything that you can do, my friends, that will give you the advantage in a post-event. What a lot of people are not thinking about, we're going to talk about this really quickly. Before we get going any further, I see we're back to 1.2 in the chat, and we're at 429 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask you to shoot another thumbs up if you haven't done so already to show support for the channel. And thank you for doing that ahead of time. Also, make sure, it really does help with algorithms as well. So that's another reason why I like to see a lot of interaction. So again, thank you. And I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So I'm not going to lie. It's like a little game. So I appreciate that ahead of time. And thank you. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell icon for all notifications as well. And thank you again ahead of time for that. So, but like I said, with everything that's going on, the more that you can give yourself an advantage, it puts you in a position where you have options. People are going to be absolutely losing their minds if we have a major event happen, like the culmination of all this other crap that's been going on, and we have this huge event happen, and now all of a sudden everybody's on their own. Giving yourself the advantage is a huge thing, and here's the main reason why. If you have food, you have water, you have good shelter in place, you have a way to stay warm, okay? You have a way to, you have plenty of warm clothes because you've thought ahead and you're good to go, right? What is the main advantage that gives you? If you are rested and you're getting a proper sleep, if you are eating regular meals and taking that in, and you are ready in that aspect, other people that are now out on the streets trying to figure out what they're going to do. They have no place to go. Say they're on foot because, the power's down. You can't get gas anymore. The roads are clogged, especially in the cities. It's going to be a parking lot trying to get out of there. So people are going to be on foot. They're going to be cold. They're going to be miserable. They're going to be tired. They're going to be hungry. Sleep out in the rain a couple of nights and see how much you like that without proper shelter. And you're going to be talking, there's going to be a lot of sickness. There will be a lot of people dying of dysentery because they're going to drink tainted water because that's the option that's there. They're going to drink that. If you can have yourself in a situation where your mind is sharp, you're rested, in a tactical situation, that gives you such a huge advantage over people that are not. Just that alone is an edge that can save your life. And I think that's hugely important. That's something people really need to think about. As preppers, as off-gridders, we're always looking for that edge. So why would you not be proactive in helping yourself to not be a victim? Why would you not do that? And that's what to me, that is a no-brainer. It's an absolutely no-brainer in that situation. So, what is your trash plan during SHTF? That's a very good question. Actually, what you would have to do in SHTF, everything that you could burn, you would burn. Okay, so let's talk about your tin cans. So you've eaten your food, okay? Now you have your tin cans. What are you doing with your tin cans? There's a lot of things you can do with your tin cans. You could put rocks in those tin cans, run lines so that at night if somebody's walking and coming in, they're going to trip and hit that trip wire, if you will, rattling those tin cans and those small stones in the can. That's another early warning system. Having dogs obviously is another early warning system, but your dogs are outside now on patrol because their dogs are not going to be inside dogs anymore, right? At night, they would be outside because that's going to be part of their job, is to protect the perimeter. They hear that person trip that can, and they're going to be barking. Boom, everybody's up and doing what they have to do, okay? You can take those cans also, and you can flatten them out, and you can use that as a layer of protection for some kind of body armor that you would make for yourself. Is it going to stop, a lot of stuff? No. But if you got layer upon layer upon layer, it's something as opposed to nothing, okay? So, but again, or you could use it as trying to make it as a defense. You could take those cans, you could fill them with dirt, you stack them together, depending on how many cans you had. But again, it's another layer that can be used as defense. So there's a lot of options that you can do with those cans in that situation. So, I mean, you're going to have all kinds of options of things, but like a lot of your stuff you can burn garbage wise. If you have any kind of farm animals, all your scrap stuff would go to those animals, your chickens, your pigs, whatever you had. So like if you would utilize almost everything that you had, because you're not going to be throwing a lot of stuff away. But anything that you would be getting rid of, like the stems, and you would feed that to your animals, okay? So there wouldn't be as much garbage as you think there would be. Hopefully, if you have small children and you have, diaper-aged children, that you've thought ahead and you already have cloth diapers in the pins so that you're not having this stuff that you're just throwing out, you use once and you throw out. You have cloth diapers if you're thinking ahead, hopefully, okay? So you're ready for that because you're going to wash them out, you're going to reuse them, and you're going to do it over and over and over again. And there's another thing to think about. How you cleaning your lawn, or how are you doing your laundry in that post-event? You need to think about that too. You take care of the basics first, your food, your water, your shelter, being able to stay warm, protection for your family, being able to protect what you have. Those are your basic things you're going to want to try to focus on first. Then you're going to try to expand that out, obviously. Your medical supplies, extra clothing, continuously, never stop adding to your food storage. Never stop adding to your protection. Have different ways to have protection. A bow and arrow, a crossbow, compound bow, hugely things that are important. Chrissy Martinez, burn away any trash to avoid, hold on a second. Unwanted attention. People may resort to looking for food in trash cans. If they see cans or bags, they will know that you have food. Well, that's another good point, especially if you're in the cities. Yes, that's another good point. Very, very good point. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you very much for the donation as well. Now, Robert Hayes just said fishing poles. Very, very smart. Make sure you have plenty of fishing line, bobbers, your weights, your sinkers, okay? Plenty of hooks, lots of hooks. Have lots of options. Again, there's going to be so much that has to be taken care of. I couldn't even tell you how much fishing gear I have stocked away. I'm not a fisherman. I don't fish, okay? Never did a thing for me when I was younger. When I would go fishing, the only thing I used to catch was a buzz because I'd be drinking beer, and I never caught fish. Now, I've gone deep sea fishing a couple times, which was really fun, and I've done that aspect of it, which was really entertaining and really enjoyable, actually going out on a boat, deep sea fishing for the day, or on the lake, like Lake Ontario. I've done that too. That's a lot of fun. But, sitting on the creek bank and throwing that line in never really did a thing for me. Now, in a survival situation, guess what? I love fishing. As long as you have options and you have things that you can do, that you can utilize and work with, it's very smart to do. And somebody just said, and I like this comment, Start a worm bed now. Sherry S. just said that. Good thing to do if you have a composting bin or you have like a 55-gallon barrel, like to get one of the plastic barrels, get a door on it. All your stuff you're composting in there, make sure you're turning that barrel every day. You can put your weeds in there, your scraps from, whatever you have if you don't have chickens. So like all your organic scraps that like you've cut up your celery or whatever the case may be, you throw that in there. Have worms in there. Worms will go through that and they'll process that and it'll be awesome, okay? And you're going to end up having great, rich soil to grow. The number one key, 90% of gardening, to me, in my opinion, I'm giving you my opinion, 90% of gardening is the soil. If you have good soil, you don't have to be a rocket scientist when it comes to gardening. You just got to make sure you water every day. Keep an eye on stuff, make sure predators aren't getting into your things. That's really, really important. But soil is that key. So you're always going to want to be making new soil because, again, in a post-event, I can't call up and call Bill and say, hey, Bill, bring me in a truckload of, the composted manure. That option is off the table. So you have to have other options. Yes, chicken poop, cow poop, pig poop. Yep, exactly. Happy Elf just said that. So, again, you would utilize what you have. Rabbits are another one. Their poop, rabbit poop, is really, really good. Okay, you would utilize all those things, whatever was available to you, but know the information now. Get that information. Okay, so here's an important thing. This is what I really think is important, and I've talked about this before as well. Having books with knowledge in them. Now, maybe right now you're going to get these books, and it's like 70 things that you can do to make a homestead better, or whatever the case may be. And you're like, I don't have time to read it right now. But I'll tell you what, in a post-event, you got time. And anything that you can do to give you, again, that advantage is what you're going to want to do. So I think that's hugely, hugely important. So I would encourage all of you to get out there and do that. Get that information. Knowledge is power. So the more books that you have on different aspects of homesteading, how to put in foundations, how to make concrete, whatever the case may be. Anything that's going to give you that advantage, get that. Defenses, learning how to put in defenses and trench warfare, whatever the case may be. There's so many things that you can do. You don't have to read it all right now, but if you have them books and you have that knowledge in that post-event, we're going to have a lot of time. Every day is not going to be, let's go out and entertain ourselves and go do this. Every day is going to be about survival. What can we do to make our lives better? And especially here in the Northeast, it's going to be about preparation for winter. You're going to be a lot more people cooking with wood. So you're going to have a lot of people burning down houses because they don't know how to just do stuff because they have no knowledge or skills on how to take care of things. So again, learning things now, figuring things out, practical practice is such a huge thing. It is unbelievable. Okay. I'm going to do this again really quick. We're at 1.3 in the chat. We have 624 thumbs up. I'm going to ask again for another thumbs up right now to show support for the channel. So if you would do that, I would absolutely appreciate that. Also, excuse me. Sorry. Again, it really does help with the algorithms. Also, I like to see a lot of thumbs up as well. Again, if you are not subscribed, please make sure you do subscribe. Hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. I want to remind everybody a couple of things. We're going to talk about my website really quickly, and then we're going to move on to the egg count right after that. My website, preppernurse1.com. If you go to my website, we have the Prepper Nurse One community on my website. It's a great resource for you guys. We set it up for you to connect with like-minded people. So please, please, please take advantage of that. It is totally free to join. It does not cost anything. You do have to register because it is private. So people can't come in off the street and just go in there and, act like idiots. You do have to register. You come in, you check it out, and there's great message boards if you're looking to connect with people in your state or your country. If you're looking to network, if you're looking to try to form a group, that is completely up to you what you utilize it for. Okay, so definitely take advantage of that. Also, we have jdega.com. If you go on, again, my website, you click on you'll see it'll go by jdega.com. It's also going to be down below in the description. You click on that link, you go to jdaga.com. If you decide to make a purchase there, which is CBD and hemp products, make sure you use, when you're checking out, when they ask for the coupon, you put in Prepper Nurse 1, and that's the number 1, not ONE. You can save yourself 15% on that, okay? Also on the website, we have Legacy freeze-dried foods. If you're looking to add to your freeze-dried food storage, take advantage of that as well. That is there. You'll see store. You click on store, it'll drop down. It'll say Legacy. You click on that. What they have available is right there. Definitely take advantage of that as well. Okay, so let's do the egg count. I see people are putting the numbers up. So what's your guesses, guys, as far as the egg count goes? Let's see. I'll give you guys a minute here, and we got them. Okay. All right. If your guess was the same as Keith Barnhart, and Keith said 8 eggs, then you are correct. We ended up with 8 eggs today. And Thick Neck did lay today, so she did her job. But yeah, it's day to day. You just never know. Today it just happened to be 8 eggs, so that's okay. We'll take whatever they decide to give us. Like I said, as long as they're doing well and they're safe, and that's the important thing. So, but anyway, so that's where we were at with our egg count today. But let's see. Also, for sub-zero temps, cut your gun oil with diesel. That's a good idea, too. That is a good idea. But again, guys, I really want to encourage you guys at this point. I believe, and this is strictly my opinion, I believe we're in the lull before the storm right now. I think things are going to get really bad again. And if you're paying attention and you're looking, like people are saying on here, there's shortages of food in stores already. Prices are going up. Nothing is going to be cheaper than it's going to be right now. And if we end up having shortages again, yes, Thick Neck lays the green eggs. Yep. If we have shortages again, it's going to be very difficult to get things. So be proactive, get out there, get your paper products, whatever you want to get paper products, toilet paper, paper towels, Kleenex. And I know some of you are going to say, oh, well, you can use rags for that. You absolutely can. Okay. So that's something as well. When I go a lot of times, I'll go to Walmart and I will buy the 25 pack of washcloths. Okay. And I've taken those and just put them away. Don't even use them. They're put away. Again, that's another prep. There's so many uses they can be used for. They can be used for washing up. I can use it for a snot rag, whatever the case may be, but it's something that can be used over and over and over again. Cleaning up a child, when you have little kids and they have issues. So there's a lot of options you can have with that. It's easy to get right now. Down the road, it may not be easy to get, So Tom W. says, shout out to Prepper Now. Excellent videos. Okay, well, there we go. So Prepper Now. Another one, guys, I'm going to talk about really quick. My friend on the West Coast, Marfugal News, Adam, great guy. Go check out his channel. Show him some support. Tell him the Prepper Nurse 1 sent you. It's a great alternative. They do different videos than I do. It's a different perspective because I'm on the East Coast and they're on the West Coast. But they're good people. And, definitely go check them out. Show them some support. Watch their videos. And, it's a really good thing. So, why are they green? That's just the type of breed that she is. That's the type of egg she lays. It's a greenish white is what it looks like, but it's a greenish tint to the egg. They're called Easter eggers, and so that breed lays that type of color egg. Some chickens lay strictly white eggs. Some chickens lay strictly brown eggs. There's chickens out there, depending on the breed that you have. They'll lay a black egg. So if you want to get exotic with your stuff, it's still just all chicken eggs. So it's just a different color. That's all that is. Marf is off this week on a project. Okay. Very cool. Now, see, that I did not know. But like I said, I think he's one that we should show support for. Alaskan Prepper is another good channel. Yep, absolutely. There's another guy that, definitely, I'll give him a shout out too, Alaskan Prepper. Go up there, show him some support, Again, guys, it's all about, we're this small, and realistically, if you think about it, we are a very small niche community as far as on YouTube goes. Hey, Brandon, I heard about you through Marv. Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Well, thank you for being here, and I appreciate that. And thank you also for the donation as well. Green eggs are lower in cholesterol. Okay, Sherry S. just said that. I did not know that. Yep, some lay blue eggs. Yep. Again, it depends on the breed of chicken that you have. Prepping for Normal People is another good channel. Okay. But anyway, we have a small, there's another one that I would absolutely recommend you guys go and check him out. Prepping for Normal People. Good guy, good channel, a lot of good information. We're a small niche community in the prepping world, okay? We should be supporting each other, and I think that's really important that we do. Very shocked, bought a case of green beans from a local produce stand for canning. Price was twice the price last year. Get it while you can. Yeah. L. Gibson, thank you very much for that statement and sharing that information. And again, thank you for the donation as well. But again, it's really important. People are not paying attention to that. The prices are going crazy. They're going crazy right now. And if we end up in a shortage again, it's going to get worse. I think that the shortages are coming. Food shortages are coming. Things are not being produced. We have all kinds of issues all over this planet. You are seeing a tremendous amount of, discontent all over the world. People are getting sick of the status quo. They're getting sick of not having options and being able to, again, and I said this before, handouts are not the answer. Absolutely not the answer. Hand-ups are. Give people a reason for self-worth, and you will have somebody that can become a very productive member of society. Giving somebody a handout does nothing for their self-esteem, does nothing for their pride, does nothing to give them any incentive to do anything. But if you give somebody an incentive, if you do this, this is where you're going to be at. It's a huge thing. It is a huge thing. That many non-preppers are hitting the food banks and they are running out of food. Yes, JJ, great statement. Food bank lines have been crazy. A lot more people are hitting food banks because they don't have the food. They can't afford to do it. So the food banks have been overrun, basically. People are waiting hours in line at food banks. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. So, but it's just, again, I will continue every live stream that I do. I will continue to encourage you to prepare, be ready. We are headed for some very seriously bad times, in my opinion. Okay. Just looking at what's going on, and if that little monkey wrench is tossed in there like a major power outage, just think about how bad that would be. Anybody that's experienced any kind of power outages, I think a lot of us have, and I'm not talking for 2 hours or for 4 hours. Oh my God, the power was out for 4 hours and I miss Will and Grace. No, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about 4, 5, 6 days, 7 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of not having power. If you have experienced that, then man, I'll tell you what, if you don't prep after experiencing that, I don't know what to tell you, because it's like, that is an eye opener, huge eye opener. Hurricane Sandy, Tommy M just said, yeah. And I think a lot of times for people, there is that eye-opening event that happens. For me, guys, and I've said this many times I've said this, Hurricane Katrina, okay? Why was Hurricane Katrina the wake-up call for me? The reason Hurricane Katrina was a wake-up call for me, I saw what those poor people all through that whole area, Louisiana, Mississippi, what they were dealing with. And when the government didn't come right in and save the day like the government is supposed to do, right? When that didn't happen, it scared the crap out of me. Hey, Asif, 2 hurricanes will hit Louisiana 2 days apart. Yep. Exactly. And so they're going to get the 1-2 punch. And I think it's I can't remember how long they said it's been since that has happened, but it's been quite a while since 2 hurricanes right back to back like that in the Gulf. It's been quite a while. At the time when Hurricane Katrina happened, my kids were little. And I said to myself at that point in time, thank you for the donation to us. I'm sorry if I didn't say that. And thank you for letting us have that information. When that happened, I said to myself, we cannot rely on the government. We need to rely on ourselves, because my thought process always went back to my children. And I said, Josh was little, the twins were little. I said, how could I look at them in the eye and say, I didn't think enough ahead to prepare for you for this disaster, be it natural or whatever the case may be, so that we could be comfortable. And that was my bell moment where the light bulb went off and said, get going. And I got into prepping at that point. And as I did more research and got into it, obviously, then it became, let's find something and get off grid and get a property, off grid away from everybody else. Again, if you can live on your retreat, if you can live on your bug out location, I highly encourage you to do that. The number one reason why it is so awesome to live at your bug out location or your bug out retreat. Well, there's actually 2 really good reasons. The number one reason that you would want to do that is all of your stuff is in place. You don't have to worry about packing up the car and bugging out and get to your bug out location. You're already there. The second advantage of living at your bug out retreat is you pack up your car, you get out to your bug out retreat, and somebody's already there. Somebody's already taken over your retreat. They can't do that if you're there. Okay, that's the number 2 reason. Hey, Asif, 2B hurricanes in the Gulf has never happened. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, category 2s, you mean? 2 category 2s? I think that's what you're saying. Well, thank you for that information, and thank you for the donation as well. I do appreciate it. Ice storm of 98 was 15 days offline, except for my landline. Yeah, you know what? I remember the ice storm. That was a good. That one hit up here, and it was devastating. And so there's different things that happen. That there's different, like somebody's Hurricane Sandy, when Hurricane Sandy hit. Hurricane Hugo when that came. There's so many of them that were defining moments for people where they realized back to back. Okay, that's what he meant. Okay, gotcha. But those were defining moments for people, and that's what woke them up. And like I said, I think that we are awoken for a reason. I really do. And when bad time comes, and again, an SHTF event, again, doesn't have to be the whole country. An SHTF event could be affecting just your family, okay? So what do I mean by that? Loss of job, death in the family, okay? All those type of things. Those are, or a debilitating injury. Nothing scares me as much as how crazy the cell phone and gamer addicted folks are going to be when this is gone. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, L. Gibson, because they're going to lose their minds. They're going to lose their minds because they're not used to the younger generation, like my kids. My kids have grown up in that technology generation. They've always had a computer. They've always had, cell phones. And I mean, my daughter didn't get her cell phone until she was 13. So, I wasn't giving a 6-year-old a cell phone. I don't see any sense in that. It makes no sense to me to give a child that young a cell phone. They don't need it. Okay. And people used to say, well, what if there was an emergency and she had to call home and blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, one of her friends has a cell phone. She didn't need a cell phone. So that's kind of where I was at. But, Anna says, Ice Age farmer and my brother woke me up. Well, that's awesome. And that's great. Like I said, the more of us, and there's more people waking up every day, guys. There really, truly is. So there's a lot of people that are brand new to this. It can be very, very overwhelming. Very overwhelming. Because when you are brand new and you're just starting out and you go, oh my God, I'm so far behind. And then you panic. And a lot of times that panic causes people to do what? It causes them to do nothing. Okay. Again, what I encourage, work methodically. Just work at it a little at a time. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen if you prep or you don't prep. whatever's going to happen. And again, an SHTF situation could be something that affects you directly with your family. It could be something that affects just your town. It could be something that affects your county or your state, or it could be the whole country. Okay, so we really need to pay attention to that. Yep, panic causes death. Follower of Jay, you're absolutely right. So again, what we want to do is preppers and off-gridders, when the time comes, we want to act, not react. That's really, really important. We have a game in place. We know what we're doing. We're thinking about it. We're getting ready. We're squared away, and you just go right into that mode. And that's what you have to do. So what do we at? We got 1.3 in the chat, guys. We're at 795 on the thumbs up. Let's see if we can hit, not 8, well, because 800 is right there, but let's see if we can hit 900 on the thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we get, the better off it's going to be. So the more thumbs up that are there, that's better for the channel. So thank you for that. And again, I do like a lot of thumbs up. I'm not going to lie. So thank you again for that ahead of time. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. Okay, so thank you for that too. Somebody just put up here too, which I think is really important, and I wanted to bring this up as well. Ham radios. Okay. In a post-event worldwide, something bad has happened, or countrywide, something bad has happened, and all communications are down. All right. Knowledge, again, is also power. If you have that knowledge and you know what's going on, it gives you an advantage. Union Mike 108, stocked another 150 pounds of rice. Hold on a second. How long will instant potatoes last dry canned, used to food saver? You know what? I don't have the answer for. It's great that you're doing that. 150 pounds more rice is awesome. I don't know the timeline on that, if it's vacuum sealed. If it's, again, I'm not sure how long that would last. So I apologize. I don't have that information right there for you. But Ed, going to have to call Heather and let her know you are now doing cat camp duty. That's funny. Yeah. Well, they're all sleeping here, so I'm not bothering anybody tonight. So because once you wake them up and then they get moving around, then we have the cat quakes and everything else. So I got 3 on the bed as we speak right now. So, but anyway, ham radios. Back to that. Let's go back to that. I think it's really important to have a ham radios. Not so much for you to go out and try to talk to people in a post event, because you don't really want them to get your ping and locate where you are. But to have that ham radio to listen and find out what's going on, I think that's huge. Tana says dogs, ? Dogs aren't going anywhere. I know that I had done that video saying that I was going to get rid of the dogs because I was upset because they had killed another chicken. I reinforced the chicken run area, made the fence higher so they can't fly out, and did all that. So the chickens are secure. I love my dogs, okay? And what I made the statement, and I will say it again because it's 100% true, I like my chickens better than the dogs. I like my cats better than the dogs. That's because I'm a cat person. I love cats, always have. Dogs are good to have. They serve a purpose. And, they're an early warning system. And those dogs, to be honest with you, in a worst case situation, they can sense danger and they can sense when somebody has bad intentions. They would give their lives for the family. So, they're very good. And the dogs are really good dogs. They really are. So that's, I like my dogs, so they're not going anywhere. I was just in that heat of that moment. I was upset. And so I was talking of getting rid of them, but no, the dogs are staying right here. So just so you know. So let's see what we got here. Thoughts on prepping for a post-election event regardless of the winner. Regardless of the winner, again, we never stop prepping because, again, natural disasters are going to continue to happen. There's nothing we don't know. The new Madrid fault is going to go at some point. That's a given. Also, there will probably be some kind of unrest as far as earthquake activity in California at some point. At some point, Yellowstone supervolcano will go again. Now, when that will happen, nobody really knows, but at some point it will absolutely go again. There's a lot of other supervolcanoes around the world as well that will go at some point. Okay, so it doesn't have to be Yellowstone, doesn't have to be the one. There's game changers all over this planet as far as supervolcanoes go. So there's a lot of things that can happen. Again, right now, we are in a grand solar minimum, okay? The weather is changing. It's getting colder. Now, saying that, oh, ha, 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 we've had 90-degree temperatures up here, but the cycles of the planet is changing. The sun is in a period of less activity, okay? So the planet is going to get cooler. We're going to have that happening. The growing seasons are going to be affected. We're going to have more extreme weather. That's already happening, okay? So again, make plans for those type of things. We have a pole shift actually going on at this time too. That has been proven as a fact. And then Dinky Bird just said asteroids. Again, yeah, asteroids are hitting the planet all the time. They're just smaller ones that are hitting. Maybe you don't see them, but then once in a while, a bigger one gets through. If we get a real big one, then we're going to have some problems. Hold on a second. Alaska Prepper. Prepper channels have been sounding the alarm for people to prep for a long time. It seems that many still, hold on a second, still need to hear the message. So thank you for the steadfast dedication informing the masses. Many blessings to you. Thank you, man, and I appreciate that. And actually, I gave you a shout out earlier in the stream. And there he is, guys. That's Alaskan Prepper. Again, get over there, subscribe to his channel. He's got some great information over there as well. Again, we're a small community. We need to be supportive of each other. I think that's hugely, hugely important. So the more that we can interact, here's the thing, okay? Lots of different people have lots of different ideas. I think that's a really good thing. It's good to take all that information in. So if you watch me, you watch, Alaskan Prepper, Ice Age Farmer, all those different ones that are out there. I think that's a really good thing. Gigi, Ed, did you bury concrete under the gate so the dogs can't dig there? They actually haven't. I did bury concrete in parts on the sides, but they have not dug under the gate. So no, they've never messed with that. And like I said, I think thank you for the donation as well. I think, like I said, what I think happened was, hold on. Okay. I think what happened was they, I'll make sure I didn't miss any. Okay. I think what happened was the chicken flew over the top. And once it got out into their area, then it was fair game and instinct took over, and that's why they killed that chicken. So, again, with securing things better, making the fence higher, that was the best suggestion, in my opinion, because, again, and also a lot of people have said do an electric fence. Yes, I can do that. I'll tell you what, if there's continued issues, I will definitely do an electric fence, okay? But I think that we have taken care of the issue now with making the fence higher, and I can still clip their wings at any point in time that I want as well. One side, I can still do that, so that's also an option as well. So that's what I may end up doing, okay? So just putting that out there. So we're going to do this at this point right now, and it's 9:12 right now, so we are Legion. Because we are many. We are a huge family. We're a huge network. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. We are really a true family of people, a lot of like-minded people. Where is everybody from tonight? So I would ask you guys to show me where you're all from. Homestead DYI with L&T. Yep, I gave them a shout-out earlier, S. Mayberry. So, yes, they're another one. There's a lot of good channels, guys. We have Chicago, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. Northeast Ohio, Pennsylvania, Montreal, Canada. We have Georgia, Nashville, Tennessee, Missouri, Indiana. It's going fast. Connecticut, Iowa, Greensville, Tennessee, Detroit, Greece, New York, Florida, Chicago. New Orleans, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Alabama, Colorado, Minnesota. We have Detroit, Melbourne, Australia, Georgia, Colorado again. Sioux Falls, let's see, man, is it going fast? I saw Norway went by, Georgia, Singleton, California, I got to select, hold on. All right, so we got Troy, Vermont, Washington, Virginia, or Washington, Western Washington State. We have, let's see, Buffalo, New York, Florida, Douglas Lake, Norway, Louisiana, Oregon, Ohio, Gatlin, Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Southwest Florida. Let's see, we have Kentucky, Michigan, Eastern Long Island, Nashville, Tennessee again, Mulberry, Indiana. Let's see, Thailand, very nice, that's cool, if that's true. Buffalo, New York, New Jersey. We have Brookings, Oregon. Nowhere, Oklahoma. Love Nowhere, Oklahoma. And thank you for the t-shirt, too. That's awesome. Northern Illinois. We have Buffalo, New York. Sunbury, Ontario. We have Iowa, Western New York. Nepal, if that's true, that's cool. Chesapeake, Virginia. I think some of you guys are just putting obscure places just to try to mess with me, but that's okay. Queensland, Australia, that's very nice. Buffalo, New York. Franklin County, Ohio. Gavinsport, New York. Ulster Park, New York. Nebraska. Central Florida, Connecticut. Again, guys, we are all over. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We're all over this country. We are all over the world. We are a huge network. We're a huge family. And that's what people really, a lot of people that are outside of what we do, people that are not preppers, they don't have that mindset. We're a family. We are one big race. You know what that race is called? It's called the human race. All right. A lot of preppers, and I think this is true on a large scale. A lot of preppers are not looking at color, race, religion. What they're looking at is a human being that has the same mindset that they do, that they can sit down and they can talk with that person and have intelligent conversations, and people are not going to look at you like you're out of your mind because you prep. When I first got into it, I got so much negative feedback, not on YouTube, but from people surrounding me, family and friends, and, oh, why are you doing that? And blah, 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 right? But I'm going to tell you what, once I got on YouTube and started connecting with like-minded people, it is a great awakening, even more so, because you realize you're not alone and that there's a lot of people with that mindset. The best part is, guys, and I'm going to talk about this really quickly. The best part to me is if you prep and say you're the only one, and I know a lot of you, you're the only one in your family prepping. The rest of your family, extended family, doesn't prep, okay? But you know what you're doing. You know why you do what you do. And when that time comes, and it's not about the I told you so moment. It really isn't about that. It's those people are going to come, your family, looking for help, and you're going to have to make that decision if you're going to help them or not help them. And that's going to be a very difficult thing to do, but you're going to be in that position, okay? To be able to have that gratitude from them because you thought ahead, and they're going to say, man, you were right and I was wrong. That's really, it's a great feeling to know, but it's also knowing why we do what we do. We do what we do for the greater good, the people that we can help, our families, ourselves. I just think it's a great thing. I just think it's a great thing. Yeah, get guns and ammo for the whole family. David Bond just said that. It's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. All right, I'm going to ask one more time. We're at 919 on the thumbs up, guys. We got 1,000 people watching. Just for fun, let's see if we can get that bumped up to 1,000 before we sign off here. We got about 3 minutes. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, again, I'm going to ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the bigger numbers we get, the better we are in the rankings with YouTube. So thank you for that as well. And again, I like to see a good number of thumbs up. So yeah, if we can get it 1,000, that would be very, very cool. So thank you for that support. I do appreciate it. Again, if you are not, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask that you please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon as well to get all notifications. And thank you for doing that as well. So, anyway, so I want to thank my moderators again, who show after show after show come in here, keep the chat clean for all of you guys. So I really, truly appreciate those men and women that do that for me. Thank you guys for doing that. It really does mean a lot to me because I think it's important. People want to disrupt. They want to cause chaos. They want to distract. They want to do their pay attention to me stuff. The more of us that can stay on point, and with having the moderators on here, keeping things squared away, it really does keep us away from that stupid distractions. And again, they have an agenda just like anybody else. But you know what? We just got to ignore them and move on. And that's the best thing we can do. So I think that's important as well. What are we at? Oh, 971. So we got, 29 to go. So 29 to go. Let's see if we can hit that 1,000 thumbs up, guys. Thank you for the great chat. I hope you have a good night. Jen A said, thank you very much. I appreciated that. Hey, nose picking. When a task has begun, never leave it till it's done. Be a laborer, great or small. Do it well and do it all. That's a great statement. I like that. I like that a lot. And that's the thing is setting goals, setting priorities, reaching those goals, and then making new goals. That's a huge thing. That's a big thing when it comes to prepping. So the more that we can set those goals, and here's the biggest thing, set realistic goals. Set realistic goals of what you want to do, what you want to get done, and it will happen. It is amazing. It really, truly is. I mean, again, I know I've had a lot of people say, look what you've done in the last 2 years here. And in the last 2 years, we've gotten a lot done. Being retired really helped, to be honest with you, because I have the time. Before I didn't have the time, so because, when you're working full time, raising kids, and then trying to make videos every day and then try to get stuff done. It was like there was not enough hours in the day. And so, that's part of it as well. But, I did want to make real quickly, I wanted to say before we jump off of here, Patty will be joining me for a live stream. We're going to be doing it the first weekend in September. We're going to do a Thursday. So instead of doing a Friday stream, we're going to do a Thursday. So we're going to do Wednesday and then Thursday of that week. I'll let you guys know more ahead of time when that comes in. So Patty and John, the canning videos and stuff that I had done earlier this week with them, Patty's going to join me. A lot of people asked if she would. So I talked to Patty. She said she would love to. So they're actually going to come early. We're going to have a little cookout. We're going to eat, and then we're going to do the stream, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that, okay? Oh, yeah, and we did hit 1,000 thumbs up, guys, so thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that. I want to remind everybody we are all in this together. That is so important because we really, truly are, okay? Remember that. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important to tell the people that you love and that you care about every single day how you feel, okay? Please make sure you do that, okay? Also, STD, step, thing, and day. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, it doesn't have to be prepping related. It doesn't have to be off-grid related. Whatever is in your life that you're trying to do, whatever hopes and dreams that you have that you're trying to accomplish, if you work at it methodically, it will happen. But only if you put the effort in, and the only one that can stop you from reaching those goals is you. That's it. Nobody else can stop you. So the people that make every excuse in the world of why they're not successful and why they haven't done this and how life is so unfair, they need to look in the mirror because that's the only person that stopped them from reaching those goals. Okay? So anyway, stay positive. Stay away from the negativity. I will see you all tomorrow, guys. Have a great day. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.